Nestle Malaysia Berhad is a Malaysian-based company that produces products related to nutrition, health and wellness. So, it is a public limited company by shares, which is also an investment holding company that is incorporated and domiciled in Malaysia. So, it is also a listed company of Bursa Malaysia Securities Berhad. Nestle Malaysia Berhad is mainly focused on marketing and sales of their products such as powder milk and drinks, instant noodles, liquid milk and juices and etc. While for the manufacturing, they are focused on manufacturing and sales of the product. Nestle Malaysia Berhad has 3 subsidiaries, which are Nestle Products Berhad, Nestle Manufacturing and Nestle Asian. Nestle originally started with foundation of Anglo-Swiss Condensed Milk Company, which is a Swiss company in 1866, and it was established by 2 United States American brothers named Charles and George. Then on 1876, Henry Nestle founder, who is a German-born pharmacist, launched FAR570, which is translated to flour with milk for consumption of infants who cannot be breastfed. So this created a fierce competition between both companies in producing each other product. However, when George died in 1902, the Anglo-Swiss eventually merged with Nestle. On 1912, Nestle then started in Malaysia as the Anglo-Swiss Condensed Milk Company in Penang. And as for today, Nestle Malaysia is an essential brand that every Malaysian has the list of household items such as Maggi, Nescafe, Milo, KitKat and etc. with over 6 factories and more than 5,000 employees with 500 halal certified products.
What is management approach? Management approach techniques that are used to direct and control an organization. In addition, Nestle executives at all levels are more concerned with motivating and guiding employees to contribute value to the firm rather than enforcing a form of power. Factors considering segment reporting. The first factor is based on the nature of business and product. Nestle is known as the most multinationals of multinationals. The company is based on nutrition, health and wellness. Company segment include food and beverages and others, and Nestle subsidiaries include Nestle Products Berhad, which is engaged in marketing and sales of ice cream, powder milk, drinks and liquid milk, juices, instant coffee and other beverages, chocolate confectionery products, instant noodles and other related products. Next is type of class customer. Nestle had various of stakeholders, which is farmers, suppliers, rural communities, employees and small entrepreneurs and others, which is they are key for the Nestle continued success. The third factor is in method of distribution. Nestle Malaysia Berhad span across the nation, which their head office currently located in Selangor and 6 manufacturing facilities in Malaysia, having established an intensive network of 44 strategic located sales office in Malaysia and Borneo. They are able to mobilize and they are dedicated team to reach their distributors and also other customers. Type of segment operating. First is the demographic segment. As for Nestle Berhad, the demographic segment comprises the customer segmentation of Nestle, which is based on age, gender, income or education. So for age, Nestle company never offers the same product for different age groups. For instance, Nestle offers Milo for children and coffee for adults. And for income, Nestle produce the product that save money. Even an ordinary man can buy the products, and also they can produce the product in small quantities so that everyone can buy. Furthermore, for physiographic segment is based on lifestyle and also personality. For example, Nestle KitKat is for people who want to taste the real chocolate, and for Nescafe 3-in-1 is for people who do not have the time to eat. Lastly, for geographical segment, which group under others and categorized as regionally and globally managed business. ODM is the Chief of Decision Making. Referring to Nestle Malaysia Berhad, the Chief of Decision Making is identified to be the Executive Board, and the Chief Executive Officer of the company is Mr. Joel Arnold. Let's look at the CODM responsibility. Chief of Decision Making should identify the existence of managers responsible for the business activities. Therefore, for each operating segment, there will be top management to manage. They are responsible for establishing policies, guidelines and strategic objectives, as well as providing leadership and direction for quality management within the Nestle Malaysia Berhad. They are responsible to make decisions regarding the allocation of resources to the segment and to evaluate its performance, and for which discrete financial information is available.
Segmental report. The original segmental report by Nestle is using a profit or loss basis. So, we come up with our new segmental report by using a revenue basis. Our segmental report consists of 5 operating segments, which are Food and Beverage, Nutrition, Nestle Professional, Nestle Health Science, and Nespresso. After performing 10% threshold using revenue basis, found that there is 4 reportable segments and 1 non-reportable segment. Food and Beverage, Nutrition, Nestle Health Science, and Nespresso should be reported separately since the reported revenue, sales to external customer plus inter-segment sales is 10% or more of the combined revenue of all operating segments. However, Nestle Professional does not classify as a reportable segment since it does not meet 10% threshold and need to be disclosed under other segment categories. Furthermore, another test must be performed, which is 75% of total revenue requirement. External revenue of reportable segment divided by total external revenue times 100%. The result shown is 94%, which exceeds at least 75% requirement. Since the reportable segments are more than 75%, therefore, no additional segment is to be reported.
So, here is the new segmental report for Nestle Malaysia Berhad. As shown in the table, there are 5 reportable operating segments which are Food and Beverages, Nutrition, Nestle Health and Science, Nespresso, and others. Under other segments is included Nestle Professional. The new reportable segmental is used revenue basis to measure the performance. Apart from that, we have discussed to allocate other income and expenses such as depreciation, finance costs, and finance income according to the operating segment. Here is the comparison between original segmental report and the new segmental report. The original segmental report is used profit or loss basis. As in the original, they only have 2 operating segments which are Food and Beverages and other segments, while in the new segmental report, they have 5 operating segments. The reasons why Nestle Malaysia Berhad choose profit or loss basis to measure performance is because the management believe that such information is most relevant in evaluating the result of segments that operate within the group. For segment asset and liabilities information are not regularly provided by the executive board, hence no disclosure is made on segment asset and liabilities.
Advantages of segment reporting. Segment information help users of financial statement. Firstly, better understand the performance of the company. Segment information assists financial statement users in analyzing and understanding the company's financial statement by permitting better assessment of the company's past performance and future prospect. Secondly, better assess the risk and return of the company. The investor invests in a company, but a company is made of its different segments. This segment information is very useful in making better analysis of the risk-return characteristic of the investment. Thirdly, make more informed judgment about the company as a whole, since the segment reporting provides additional information to investors and outsiders. Disadvantages of segment reporting. Firstly, misunderstanding likely to be found among investors about segment information. Investment by investors and creditors is made in a company but not in its individual segment. Therefore, investors require information for the company as a whole for making proper decision. Another reason is segment information might be misleading to the investors and other external users who read it. For example, a segment whose products are still in the developing stage may compare unfavorably with another segment whose products are well developed. However, accounting is unable to communicate such information clearly. Thus, investors and creditors may arrive at wrong conclusion in investment decision making. Secondly, potential detriment to the reporting company of disclosing information about individual segment. Presenting the results of segment operation to external users could lead to competitive damage. For example, competitors may learn valuable information about profit margin and new product lines. Thus, competitors may invade the company's most lucrative market.
Basis of preparation of the interim report. Nestle company prepared its interim report requirements stated in paragraph 9.22 of the main market listed requirements of Bursa Malaysia Berhad, as well as the requirements stated in FAR570 interim reporting and other MFRS issued by MASB. This interim report will be presented together with the group's audited financial statements for the financial year ended 31st December 2019. For the basis of preparations of the interim report, discrete technique is used by the company that follows under MFRS 134 interim financial reporting. According to the discrete method, each interim period should be considered as a separate accounting period from the annual cycle. This is because interim reporting are designed to forecast and summarize the financial position and financial performance for the discrete time period, which may be section of annual period. In general, MFRS 34 interim of financial reporting describe the revenue and expenses item must be evaluated and recognized in the same way the annual financial statements that are prepared as per discrete method. However, for certain annual revenue expenditure items such as that, it is best to consider the estimate income or expenses for the whole year in order to determine appropriate amount to be recognized in the interim report. This company issue on consolidated basis for the interim financial report since the most recent annual financial statements were consolidated.
Two accounting policies used in preparing the interim report. First, inventories. Inventories are measured at the lower of cost and net realizable value, NRV. The cost of inventory is calculated using the weighted average method. The weighted average method will produce result of profit and closing inventory valuation, which are in between the FIFO and LIFO method. The write-down of inventory to NRV on an item-by-item basis. Second, property, plant and equipment, PPE. The subsequent measurement of a class of PPE, the company choose the revaluation model as its accounting policy and apply that policy to an entire class of PPE. Depreciation is computed on a straight line basis over the estimated useful life of the asset.
Types of interim report prepared by the company. As public listed company, Bursa Malaysia Berhad has encouraged the company Nestle to prepare and publish an interim reporting on a quarterly basis. Nestle has prepared condensed interim financial report for their company. The interim financial report has been prepared quarterly starting from 1st January 2020. The interim report consists of 3 months and will be prepared up to 4th quarter, which will end similarly with the closing date of financial report 31st December 2020. The content that should present is include all of each heading and subtotal that was included in the most recent annual financial statement. The selected explanatory notes that focus on the major changes in the financial position since the previous reporting date also required to be disclosed in this interim financial report. The company need also to disclose the basic earnings per share and diluted earnings per share on the face of the segment if the item presents separately. In addition, if the most recent annual financial statement was a consolidated statement, the report should be produced on that basis as well. As for the Nestle, they has prepared condensed statement of financial position, condensed statement of comprehensive income, condensed statement of changes in equity, condensed statement of cash flow and selected explanatory notes in their financial reports.
We choose to discuss on the 4th quarter of financial period which is ended 31st December 2020. For the first statement is financial position. For current interim report is as at 31st December 2020 and its comparative is as at 31st December 2019. Next statement is profit or loss and other comprehensive income. For current interim period, which is 3 months, which from October to December 2020, while for the comparative is from October to December 2019. For cumulative current interim period is 12 months from January to December 2020, while comparative is from January to December 2019. Next statement is cash flow and changes in equity. For current interim period is 12 months from January to December 2020, while for the comparative is from January to December 2019.
One of the adjustments made by the company is disposal of one of its motor vehicle. On 1st October 2020, one of its motor vehicle with a carrying amount of 320,000 was disposed of for a profit of 100,000. The motor vehicle was purchased at a cost of 800,000. From the table, we can see that before adjustment was made, the carrying value of PPE as at 31st December 2020 is 1,423,843,000. However, after the adjustment made, the carrying value of PPE as at 31st December 2020 is 1,422,563,000. After eliminating cost of motor vehicle amounted to 800,000 and accumulated depreciation of motor vehicle amounted to 480,000.
Second adjustment is on share capital. The adjustment is on 1st November 2020, the company had issued 3 million units new ordinary shares amounted to RM1 per unit to increase their financial. Before adjustment be made, the amount of share capital as at 31st December 2020 is RM267,500,000, and after the issuance, the amount of share capital increased to RM270,500,000.